Hi everyone, I'm Harsh Takrani and this is my partner Sanjay Bantia, and in this video we are going to discuss about in-memory database management systems. So the contents of the video are the definition of in-memory database management systems, the difference between the traditional database systems and the in-memory database system, the IMDb architecture, its benefits, pitfalls, uh, and the asset support, the types of IMDb system, and whether it is right or not for a company. So what is IMDb? So IMDb, also known as Main Memory Database Management System, is a database system that primarily relies on main memory for storing data, which means the seek time is much faster than the disk storage databases because the main memory operations are run faster than the disk operations. The in-memory database supports DDL, that is data description language, database schema, database indexing, and it also supports client server architecture. So what is DDL? Data description language is basically uh, the language that allows the admin to add, modify, or delete the database objects within the database. Also, IMDb gives support for relational databases, transactional logging, database indexing, and client server architecture. So what is the difference? The difference between in-memory and traditional databases. As we discussed, in in-memory, the data is stored in main memory. And in traditional databases, the data is stored in disk storage. Also in in-memory, the data can be persistent or volatile. That is, it can be either uh, residing at a certain place or can be volatile. And in traditional databases, the data is always persistent, that is at the same disk space. Uh, in-memory databases, the size is less or limited because of the main memory is limited in every system. So the maximum memory that can be allocated as per 2017 is 24 TB of in-memory RAM, and in traditional databases the size is large. That is, it can go beyond 24 TBs, which is the maximum limit of in-memory databases. And the other difference is there's also extra memory for cache and in-memory database management system, while in traditional databases there is no extra memory. And the in-memory database management system is optimized for special workloads such as uh, transactional login, operational systems, as etc. And traditional databases support a very broad set of workloads. So now let's go through the architecture of IMDb management system. So as you can see, there are four components in the system. There's an application, SQL engine, the data store, and a secondary storage. So initially a request for data is made by application from the database runtime through the database API using queries. Further, it retrieves data from disk and keep copy of data in cache and database system. Now the data that is modified and it passes through API and updates the data in the system. As more number of CPU cycles are there in traditional database, which cannot be avoided, but in case of IMDb database management system, they can be avoided as the data resides in RAM, so there are less CPU cycles required. So now we discuss the benefits of IMDb system. So first of all, we discuss about the performance. As we know, the data is accessed faster in main memory than traditional databases. The performance of the system is better than the previous one. Flexibility. As you know, as the database can be stored all of it in the main memory or part of it is stored in the main memory or in the disk storage, the flexibility is better in this system. Third is reliability. So reliability, as we know, the database ensures asset properties of data in memory. So the reliability of the system is better. Fourth is ease of use, means data can be easily switched between primary and secondary memory. And the last one is real-time updates. As the processing speed is faster for IMDb queries, it is useful for real-time applications, so the real-time updates of the system are better.
Hi, this is Sanjay. Now I will talk about the pitfalls of IMDb. One of the major pitfalls of IMDb is its cost factor. As we know, the main memory cost is much higher than the normal secondary storage hard disk memory. So this is the disadvantage of IMDb. Another disadvantage is the data loss. As we know, the data is stored in the main memory. So in case of power off or something like this, the data will be lost and we can't be able to retrieve the data. And in this modern technological world, there is due to introduction of non-volatile RAM, this data loss features can also be eliminated from the database systems. Now the ACID properties. ACID properties are atomicity, concurrency, and isolation. And as we know, this IMDb database support all these three properties, and the last property is durability is not supported by the IMDb in previously, but due to introduction of these three mechanisms, these are checkpoints, transaction logging, and non-volatile RAM. It also support the four properties, that is durability. And the checkpoint means it creates a good points from the SQL Server database, and that will contained in the log during the recovery after an unexpected shutdown or crash. And the types of checkpoint are automatic, indirect, or internal, etc. The transaction logging is like in the field of database, a transaction log is history of the actions or the tasks that we performed in the database management system, which guarantee us the ACID properties over the crashes or hardware failures. Data means a log is a file which contains the changes in the database which are stored. And non-volatile RAM is also stored the data in case of power failure or something. Now there are different types of IMDb database, and some of them are like Vault database, MEM database, SQLite, Monet SQL, and HyperSQL. So talking about the practical application of these database, these are the four factors which we'll take into the consideration. Like in the companies with the response time is critical, IMDb will be used, and where the operation analytics and the real-time transactions are of high importance. Another one is where the customer analytics is used to deliver improve customer experience, and where the IoT applications are used to improve the operational efficiency. So some of the examples of IMDb database are real-time embedded system, music and video database. As we know, the sizes of music and video database are very high, so it will be very difficult, very means time consuming to retrieve the data. And the e-commerce data is database also, and apart from this, a financial and the banking database where the huge amount of data is stored, so it will means easy in case of IMDb to retrieve the data very fast. Here is the list of references that we refer to make this video. And thank you. If you have any question, you can reach out to us. Thank you.